You got to peace leaves
Just hold on a second. Calm down. Got your thugs out here. You educated gentlemen.
What's going on, everybody, on this Friday morning? Welcome back to the War Report. As always, I'm your host, Mirjani, joined by Cyrus. That is a welcome to everybody, unless you encourage or sit back while systematic racism happens. What's going on?
Well, we had the worst day of pro wrestling last week. Well, at least for me. And then, you have like probably the worst week of 2020 happening currently. Just two shitty weeks back to back in two different worlds. Shit sucks, man.
I'm trying to really put this into the best words that I can right now. I'm going to be completely transparent. A few hours ago, our president tweeted out something about shooting protesters and calling them thugs. This is a podcast that is done by two black men. Now, we're going to go ahead and give you the best wrestling show that we can. This is what we do. I believe that this NXT and AEW podcast is one of the best out there. We work our asses off on it. But I'd be hard-pressed right now to tell you that, I really have 100% in my heart talking about wrestling right now.
Yeah.
It's the gall of this man, okay? I'm so angry that I can't even really put it into words. It's disgusting. And the fact that it keeps on happening and that black lives are not as valued in America, and we're seeing it, and we keep on seeing it, and the fact that when we say that, people shout over us and say all lives matter. Well, when are the black lives going to factor into the all lives? When now? Everybody shares the picture of the knee to the throat, but what are we going to do? You can share pictures, you can meme our pain, you can share the videos and everything like that, but are you going to stand with us when it's time to? Okay? Because right now, protests are happening. It's disgusting. The tweet is disgusting. And this man is a bully. This man, if you look throughout his history, he has a history of racism, and it's not right. It's not right, and I'm pretty sure that I'm trying to say what a lot of my friends are saying. A lot of people, almost everybody in RNC is a minority, or a black man. You know what I mean? And it's not fair that we try to do regular. What do you want us to do? You don't want us to kneel? You don't want us to? That's not okay. That's not a proper way to protest. So what do you want us to do? You can't do this. Okay, we hear you, but you can't do that. What do you want from us then? Okay, because all we want to do is live. We want to live lives and be happy and be prosperous just like everybody else. But it's just not, I guess it's not in the cards.
Not in the cards, man.
It's not right for us. We have to keep on going through this shit. People care about stores more than they care about people. Okay, you could always build more Targets. You could always build more Walmarts, and I am not condoning burning things down, burning stores down and stuff, but you could always build more. So there are people, there are black men and black women that are not going to be able to go home to their families. There are children right now who are missing a mother or a father because of police brutality and racism. Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Yaman Arbery's, Alton Sterling's, George Floyd. And I specifically want to say Breonna Taylor because I feel that's been underreported. What are like? What more? What more can we do? What more do you want us to do? Now, everybody likes to share Martin Luther King quotes. So share this one when he said that riots are the language of the unheard. Share that one. Share the letter to the Birmingham jail. Not the kumbaya ones.
Yeah, definitely not.
That I'm done. I'm off my tangent. I had to get that off my chest before we started because I'm up and I see the tweet and I'm seeing all this stuff and just
well said. And I'm just gonna add that just like a lot of stuff that's happening out in the world that's just been happening lately, it's really hard to use wrestling as escapism of any sort, especially when the world is like getting worse and worse.
We already have to worry about a virus that is disproportionately killing people of color and poor people. And now we have to go out and protest during that, when in a situation where you can't really hang out in groups because you can pass the virus on. And now we got to worry about like somebody tweeting things out about shooting, calling people thugs and shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
This is BS. This is disgusting. We black people and people of color have just as right to be here. We work just as hard. Be here just like everybody else. This is wrong. So if you're listening to this right now and there's something that you can do it. Help somebody. Listen. First of all, listen. Don't. I hate when people. I don't want to turn this into some, CNN or MSNBC, but I hate when people tell black people how to feel about racism. Don't do that. Listen. Do what you can, but like you can't sit on the sidelines anymore. People are dying. Okay, there's a video. It seems like every 2 days about of somebody either getting shot or getting killed. Okay, like I'm done. Enough. Enough is enough. Let's start the damn show.
All right. You want to talk about Double or Nothing?
Let's get in the trenches first because there was a Fightful report about NXT and the fact that not only is Matt Riddle getting called up, but there's going to be more call-ups moving to Raw and SmackDown in the near future. So I wanted to ask you, who is on your radar to move?
Well, without a doubt, Matt Riddle. As far as if there's a women competitor that I can think of, me and Jessa were talking about not Candace, Tegan, but it looks like she's gonna have her thing with Candace now, which we kind of called. So probably, I think Kaden Carter should go up.
Okay.
I definitely see probably get away from a lot of the stuff that's going on with the women's division. Like I think there's a lot of moving pieces going on, and I don't know where she exactly fits anymore now that Candace has essentially moved past her, which I found what I found that was odd because Kaden Carter kind of like tended to Casey Catanzaro's like wounds, and Candace was like, that's what happens when you like fuck with me or whatever, and then like nothing came from that. Kaden Carter didn't like speak up or like do anything, so I'm just like maybe move her over. Undisputed Era, of course, but within your house, we'll just have to see what happens with that. But if I had to choose anybody else that wasn't Undisputed Era, or just like somebody in the males division. Probably Dijakovic. Like, please get him out of here.
Do you think that any happens like tonight on SmackDown?
No.
So you're thinking like after In Your House?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe like after In Your House, or like the like Raw after that.
Okay. I think. I was thinking about this. Like, of course, Riddle would. I definitely think that the Undisputed Era should too. There's nothing like. What more can they do? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing more that they could do in NXT. They've been down there for like 3 years. You know what I mean? It's time for them to move on.
They dominated the hell out of the men's division. Like, I don't think what else can they really do, man?
Yeah, Fish and O'Reilly had 2 long tag team title reigns. Adam Cole has the longest NXT Championship title reign. You know, Roderick Strong held the North American title. Like, they fulfilled the prophecy, man. It's time for them to go and liven up SmackDown. I think that Io Shirai should move up because
Definitely.
I don't, with In Your House, I don't really see her winning the title. And it's sad, but NXT always has those like wrestlers where they build them up so fast and they just don't win. It's just like what happened with Bianca.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they expected like Bianca to like shine so fast or like shine as bright as she did, but I think I said it last week. Like, I don't see anybody taking it as Charlotte's like still there. You know, I don't really see like the women's division really moving in the like within the title scene with like Charlotte really there. Like, Charlotte is doing a lot of like work with, you know, putting people on, which is just like, you know, once you dig deep, you know, you see that she's like putting a lot of women on, like what she does on Wednesday, and then what she did with Mia Yim. But like ultimately, like, she's doing good, but like to a fault, I guess. And it's just unfortunate for EO at least.
I think she should move. Like you just said, Dijakovic should move up. Maybe Aaliyah should move up too, because
I'm not worried about her. Like,
well, I mean, like she's been in NXT for what, 5 years?
Yeah.
So like maybe her.
Like, do you just want to see it because she's been there so long, or you just want to, like, you know, like, well, why?
I mean, like, there's nothing else she could do there. You know what I mean? Like, in NXT, like, she was getting.
What has she done in NXT in general?
Bad and bougie. Wait, or
like be racist? Like,
I don't know.
I don't see it for Aaliyah, nor do I really care.
Well, she could be like, I guess, the Brooklyn Brawler equivalent to NXT, where, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Brooklyn Brawler was there just to get squash matches. She could just.
I see her getting called up to SmackDown and then eating a woman's right.
or Dana Brooke.
Yeah, like I don't think SmackDown benefits, or, you know, I don't think SmackDown or Raw really benefits from you know, Aaliyah being on there. I think NXT is a really good platform for her.
All right, just moving along. Real quick news. Also, apparently there's a new video game in the works. This is per Fightful. Like, Virtual Basement is working on a next gen wrestling game, and this is some of the wrestlers that have signed on to it. So you got Ken Shamrock, Enzo, formerly known as Enzo Amore, Matt Taven, Matt Sindel, Kenny King, Brian Cage, Kylie Ray, Kelly.
This already sounds like a game I'm not gonna play.
Jonathan Gresham, Evilise, Cheeseburger, Su Young. Yeah, that's just some of the Some of the names.
They just grabbed anybody. Like, yeah, no. That like, can you tell me more than just like wrestlers that signed on? Because right now it's not sounding too good for them.
Okay, well, so they don't have a set target release date. It's a passion project to them. This is what they say about the character and design play. Since we're building our characters from scratch using ZBrush and other digital models, we're not using 3D scan technology, as it takes us a little bit longer, anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks per character, depending on complexity. They're taking inspiration from various games and playstyles that their fans over the years, but they're looking forward to building on a very strong foundation that is fun and polished and can be built and expanded upon as they like. So they said a mix of No Mercy, Here Comes the Pain, Day of the
Oh, brother.
SmackDown versus Raw 2011. As for motion capture, we plan on doing a hybrid of hand animations and mocaption depending on the situation. That's all we got.
Hearing No Mercy made me roll my eyes. To everybody's favorite wrestling game. I don't. That doesn't sound interesting to me.
Everybody loves No Mercy. I liked it because of their story mode. That story mode was actually pretty good, but like playing No Mercy now, like where like the polygons, that's really hard to do.
There's no 2K20. Like I don't think there's nobody in their lane right now. So like go for it. Like I don't think like the WWE Battleground is really gonna like capture people like the arcade style that I don't like. It doesn't grab me personally. But yeah, man, the lane's clear. The only people that you have to really compete with is like Fire Pro, and Fire Pro looks like shit. So it'd be cool.
Oh man, I don't. Good luck to them. I don't know how that's gonna work really like legally because you got like Matt Taven and people from ROH.
Realistically, it's like how good is your character creator gonna be? Because I'm not playing with Matt Taven.
Or Jonathan Gresham. Or
maybe. But I want NXT, WWE guys, or like promotions that I really love. So if I can't get a call of those characters, then like I don't care for the game. Like I love Cheeseburger, but like I'm not really trying to play as Cheeseburger.
Oh, man. Let's get into Double or Nothing 2. I'm gonna ask a couple questions in regards to this. Do you feel that this Double or Nothing was better than the first one?
Yikes. Let me look at the first one. Double or Nothing, 2019.
It's got that Cody and Dustin match on it. It's got Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
Let's see. Oh, yikes. Britt Baker versus Nyla Rose and Awesome Kong in a fatal 4-way. And well, yeah, I already looking at this card. I like it a lot more than most of what was presented on Sunday. Like Kip Sabian versus Sammy Guevara. I remember that being really good. The six women tag with Hikaru Shida, Riho, Amy Sakura. Basically the Joshi six, the six. And then
Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers. All right, so let's move into this. What do you think was the worst match on the Double or Nothing card to you this year?
Probably MJF versus Jungle Boy because I legitimately passed out, and then I was just like, I'll just pick up the pay-per-view later. And shockingly enough, that's when the pay-per-view gets good at the last 3 matches.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I fell asleep. Okay, disclaimer, I was tired, okay? But I fell asleep during the Cody and Lance Archer match and had to go back and watch it again. I do remember Cody coming out and and then Archer doing the everybody dies where he like randomly choke slams a dude and then Mike Tyson's looking at him like what the hell. But like give me a break because Mike Tyson was even yawning.
Yeah. I personally thought the match was going really well, and then they threw all the bells and whistles at the end, and I was just like, what are you guys doing? Everything was like going so well. I
don't get why they do that with Cody matches all the time. Like they're decent and good matches, and then all of a sudden interference and people getting, you know what I mean? Like it was just
I thought the match was going relatively well. Cody hasn't bled yet, so couldn't put that on the bingo card. And then like at the last 3 minutes, Arn Anderson gets kicked out. Referee shenanigans. I guess that could be his own bullet point. Referee shenanigans, and then Jake the Snake also gets ran out of the ring by Mike Tyson. It's just like a whole bunch of shit just came together, happened at the end, and it felt like a really rushed finish to me. And I already hate interferences, period. So I was just I'm taking points off as the finish is happening.
The thing is, what happened with that is Jake looked very goofy. Just kind
of. He looked pussy.
Well, I mean, he looked goofy, standing up in the ramp while Mike Tyson is there, and he's just looking on, and he just sees Cody hit 2 crossroads on Lance. I was like, what is going on here? Them doing the spine buster and the DDT, I think was kind of cool. I thought that Cody, his whole thing in AEW up to this point was him losing the big match. He always gets on a roll, winning a whole bunch of matches on Dynamite, and then he loses a big match in the pay-per-view, which is I'm okay with. I'm okay with him winning here. Great. You know what I mean? The problem, I guess we can get into this match. The problem I had with Jon Moxley and Brody Lee, if people want to talk about The Fiend getting a title shot way too soon against Seth Rollins, Brody Lee got this title shot way too soon. There was no win for him in this situation. I don't care how great he looked, how protected they tried to do him. Now he lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, people could sugarcoat it however you like. He beat a whole bunch of jobbers, and then beat one legitimate guy, or just one legitimate guy, and then got a title shot. And honestly, I think they did it for more story purpose because he took the title away from Moxley, and I just think if wins and losses matter, you don't really have to do the whole thing with him stealing the title and then kind of getting his title shot his way by beating up Moxley that one Dynamite. I don't get it.
That's two of your acquisitions that took big losses in the same night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just all right, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but when we get to Dynamite, but Brody's not on the show. So
yeah, what do you do
of the Dark Order? You know what I mean? In storyline, and if you look at it, with Brody losing and him stealing the belt and now him losing, where's Evil Uno? He was the mouthpiece. Where, you know what I mean? Where's that tag team at?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were undefeated, and now they're gone, and then. Now Brody Lee losing the big match. He's going back to the Dark Order. How are people looking at him as the leader now? You could not bring the title home.
Yeah, so this looks really bad for Brody Lee, and I think if they would have held off on this just a little bit, then you can justify like him probably like getting the title at some point, But now he's probably just gonna be probably gonna go for the TNT championship or something like that, be a mid card guy, and it's just like like
Then what is Lance Archer gonna do?
I don't get it. You got these two big acts,
And then we'll talk about two more acquisitions that AEW got. But like, what are you gonna do? What is Lance
at the
Archer
cost?
Go? Where does Lance Archer go? From here. Is he gonna challenge Cody again? Because that's not gonna happen. Because as per the show, Jungle Boy is. So Lance Archer is gonna fight who? Colt Cabana?
Well, Chris Jericho would be fighting Cody Cabana. If we want to even get deeper than that, it's just like, what are they going to do with Lance Archer? It's like, what else they're going to do with the rest of the fucking division? Because they keep getting new people and not working with what they have. We've gotten like 7 new signees, and now they're trying to do something with Jimmy Havoc, and it's just like, honestly, there's really no room for you right now. Private Party, Best Friends, Butcher and Blade, Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, SCU, like, you have all these people. Oh, in Jurassic, like, you have all these people in the tag division, and then you sign a new tag team.
Well, we kind of knew that they were going there.
And I know that, but it's just like, now, what are you going to do with the rest of them? Have them just job out to the new guys?
I don't.
Because that's what they did. That's what they kind of did with Brody Lee.
See, I'm thinking, like, I'm watching this pay-per-view, and I'm like, oh God, they are booking themselves in some corners. Because, what are you gonna do? Like, what do you do with Brody Lee? Like, you know what? Let's jump into the casino ladder match real fast, because Brian Cage comes and lays waste to Evan. Poor Darby Allin. I hope he's all right, because after he did that skateboard spot, he was done. Yeah,
he looked like honestly, Darby Allin, usually looks great when he does, because like he kind of puts himself in like the underdog, like just by doing something stupid. But now, he does something really dumb, and there's like no real payoff with it. So now he looks like, to me, he looks dumb as hell. He does the skateboard spot, hurts his leg, and he's out for the match for a really long time. And then he comes back, and then Brian Cage beats his ass. And then, he doesn't like get anything out of it. And this is the thing that, like, getting, having this guy, like a new guy, debut and just giving them everything. I think that's sometimes that works, sometimes it really doesn't. And it's just like, oh, you got to make them look good, as soon as they come in. And it's just like, nah, like, over time, people will get more familiar and, like, get behind them and stuff like that. And that's kind of like where I feel like the win-loss system is still bad,
I mean, like, Brian Cage, okay, he was signed for a while. And, like, that was hinted at until, like, they kind of shot it down. I understand that he was going there. And now I think Taz is a good mouthpiece for him.
A fantastic mouthpiece.
Fantastic mouthpiece. It's just that, all right, is he just going to get fed to Mox? Like, is Mox just going to beat another guy?
Yeah, exactly. Now, does he win or does he get his ass beat?
He can't. Okay, so if you're bringing a Brian Cage in, like, he can't just get beat up by Mox and then, all right, see ya. Because that's another guy that, I mean, I know they have the TNT title right now, but your roster is so big with guys that are hovering now, that is just kind of hovering to the point where they got to have 9 or 10 matches on AEW Dark now. And I know they have that third show coming. Your roster's so big, and you're hyping up these guys to be big acquisitions that, like, now it's like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean?
Like, to me, it's very reminiscent of when Zack Sabre Jr. finally like signed full time to New Japan, and then they have him win the New Japan Cup, and then just jobbed him out to Okada, and then everybody was just like, oh, he's like a huge star.
Everybody jobbed to Okada that year.
Yeah. But like, he's a huge star, but he like he got pushed way too quick and then got jobbed out by Okada, and it's just like we're getting a lot of that here, and I feel like WWE gets criticized that for a lot, Raw and SmackDown, where like they get a new guy and they don't really do anything with them for a while, like Ricochet wasn't really doing shit for like a while, and then they're just like, oh, we gonna shit. It's like it's a super slow build, but like here it's kind of like go, go, go. And I think that's to the detriment of themselves, because like now guys are just looking less credible. But there's more matches on the show.
Yeah.
And I have a lot to say.
Well, I mean, congrats to Hikaru Shida.
Yes, definitely the MVP.
I thought that she was the MVP of the pay-per-view. Yeah. I thought
that
she was the MVP of the pay-per-view. She went hard for Nyla Rose. She gave that match her all. I'm happy that she won. She's been the workhorse of that division for 2 months, other than Britt. I thought that, like I said, like, Nyla losing,
I
had a good run.
Yeah.
But
big fan of Nyla Rose.
Yeah, I'm a fan of both. I don't think that's going to be her only title.
Definitely not her only title ring.
Right. She'll win it. She'll win it again. But like, congrats to Hikaru Shida. I thought it was a good match. I was kind of avoiding this, but I know that you want to talk about it, and Dustin Rhodes and Shawn Spears.
Hey man, I saw a meme yesterday that was, it's the Arnold Schwarzenegger handshake, and it's just like jobbing out Shawn Spears, and it's AEW and WWE. I don't know why you would kind of like do this to yourself. Having fun, like, that's cool, but I don't know, like, you get a pay-per-view match, and then you kind of get beat dumb, like, and you kind of you make a mockery out of yourself with having Ted Blanchard on your draws or whatever, and then I just don't get it. Like, I think AEW definitely like signed him when everybody was like really asking for it, but then once they like had him, they were just like, what do we do with him? I think that's really bad.
That was, whoever thought that up in creative was terrible.
Yeah, Shawn Spears definitely should have been like, nah, I don't want to do that.
If Shawn Spears said like, listen, man, like, no, I wouldn't blame him. This was horrible.
Like, people that know me, that I'm all for fun.
Yeah, we'll get to that in like the Stadium Stampede match.
Yeah, like, I love a good joke. I like, having fun, telling jokes, being the butt of the joke. That doesn't really bother me at all. But this is not funny. So that's where I kind of have the problem with it. Like, it's very low brow, like, grown man in his underwear, haha. And it's just like, come on, I'm 23 years old. That's not going to make me laugh. And I feel like people that were really rooting for Shawn Spears to, like, actually be something in AEW, like, you really, I would be disappointed. like you guys or like people fought hard for him to be featured on AEW, and then Cody was just like, oh, he's just a good hand, which they use for storyline purposes, but I just think I just really think it's super shitty to like, oh man, like Shawn Spears is gonna like do this thing, he's really gonna do his thing in AEW, and then I think he's doing way worse stuff than what he was doing on WWE. Like the funniest thing I could think of is Shawn Spears is fucking his match with Bobby Roode in NXT,
Well, I mean,
where he pointed at his ass twerking.
Oh man, no, I think that like they brought him in to be a foil to Cody and like this mega heel, and then they have him do this. Like if he asked for his release, I would not blame that man. Like, go ahead. Like, straight up just leave. Like, if you want to leave, cool.
Like, hey, man, if WWE is so bad that you rather be, getting your ass smacked by Dustin, in what should be your big pay-per-view match.
Well, I mean, I didn't think that. First off, that match was kind of thrown on the card at the last minute. And second, I think he may have thought like going to AEW it would be different, and I guess he found out the hard way that it's not. To wrap it up, let's talk about Stadium Stampede real fast so we get into the shows. I thought this was fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought really good stuff.
This pay-per-view was really long, by the way. This was end up around 12 midnight, but I thought it was really fun. It was the best of their comedy stuff. Like, if you're a fan of being the Elite, this was for you. They did all the mat stuff. They went back to the golf cart. Jericho was funny, like doing like with the they integrated like the football stuff. Like I thought it was all fun.
I think a lot of integration of the football stuff really made me laugh. I thought that stuff was really funny, but I was kind of spoiled, because I was tired, but I was on Twitter, like I was seeing all the funny spots, and I did laugh when I saw the gifts and stuff. But there's a lot of like in between, the good jokes, and I think the Stadium Stampede goes fairly long. It is 34 minutes, and it's kind of cut up, so like. They probably had to edit this shit down.
Sammy Guevara, another MVP. Guys just got it.
Outside of the Elite, Sammy Guevara is definitely like the MVP of AEW. Like they're doing a lot of good work with him. Before he signed AEW, all Sammy Guevara was the dude that got his chest caved in by Walter. But like here, they're doing a lot of good stuff with him.
Hangman Page coming back with the horse, and then him doing the bar thing. That was great.
Okay, wait. So he does the thing with the horse, and then he's not seen for like 5-10 minutes. And I thought that was like super weird. And then you just find out that he's like hanging out at the bar, and I didn't really like that. But
I think it was a weird cut. A weird cut.
But what happens after is actually pretty good. I did like the bar brawl between him and Kenny, and what I find is very interesting is that Hangman doesn't help out the Bucks or Matt Hardy at all in the Stadium Stampede.
You caught that, Grasshopper. I'm glad that somebody else caught that.
He did not help them out at all. His only involvement was working with Kenny. And beating up Jack.
And if you notice, if you notice on Dynamite this week, my man left and went back to the hotel.
Yeah, like he's still not with the Elite shit. Like he's still trying to distance himself from them, and I think that is I think that's very important. You don't want to get too caught up into their shadow. So. Good stuff.
Let's get into the shows real fast. AEW Dynamite, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. The Revolt, formerly known as the Revival, showed up. They beat up a returning Butcher and the Blade, and I guess they teased like the mutual respect between them and the Young Bucks.
Wait, can we talk about the match before it real quick? Where okay. Because Private Party looked awful. Hopefully, they return to form soon. Because I'm very disappointed in the work that they've been putting out recently.
They've been rusty. They were rusty on Double or Nothing, and then they were rusty here.
So rusty, and I was very it made me it made me fairly sad. Like I didn't really expect to turn on them like this.
Well, I think they're young, so they'll get back into it, but like, let's hope Mark Quinn is okay, because that match broke down because it looked like he really hurt his leg. He came down on it and like he tried to like give it a go, and you saw Cassidy like looking at the apron like, "Are you all right?" You know what I mean? So the match broke down after that.
And then even like when Butcher and the Blade came out, he is like limping into the back, like he is really hurt, and I would really hate for him to be taking time off at this point when they're just trying to get their like footing again.
I mean, it depends on the severity of the injury. There's been a lot of lower leg injuries in AEW lately, unfortunately.
But yeah, Butcher and Blade return, and Jesus, the disservice those guys have been given from being MJF's, hired guns to, getting like one solid win and then getting their ass beat ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's going to be probably a Revolt versus Butcher and Blade match, which Butcher and Blade is probably going to job. And then, like, I guess maybe Firefest, or down the road, you're going to do the Revolt versus the Young Bucks. That's the money match that everybody wants. Maybe you wait until All Out to do that. I will wait till All Out to do that. That's a big pay-per-view. Okay. Yeah. Cool. But, yeah, the Revolt are in AEW as predicted by everyone.
Everybody. Everybody predicted it, but nobody really wanted it. I will take that back. I didn't want it. I definitely wanted to, a lot of people saw that NWA was like the move for them. They're not really having shows or whatever, so, chase the bag. But no, I really wish they would have, went to NWA, man. They got some really good, old school performers back out there and stuff like that.
NWA needs tag teams. They really do. It would have been cool to see him there, but yeah, guess what? AEW, they will be there Wednesday.
Hey, man.
Nights.
Yeah, the bag talks, man.
Britt Baker, her promo, she is implicating Aubrey Edwards. Is Aubrey Edwards having a match soon?
I thought it was funny, honestly.
It is.
I thought it was funny, but yeah, having it all come down to, hey, Aubrey Edwards is the reason why I got hurt, and I think that's super silly. It really should have been pointed down to a wrestler. I feel like a wrestler should have came out at some point and confronted her, because she's saying a lot of people's names, and keep my name out your mouth. So I'm gonna pull up on you, and then nobody does that. Not even like
you're gonna pull up on somebody on a wheelchair. I mean, that kind of.
Oh yeah.
That kind of happened.
Yeah.
A day ago, but yeah, Britt is gonna be missed. I know she's coming back in All Out, but she's gonna be missed in that division.
Yeah, man. She's been doing really good work on AEW ever since her heel turn. It was kind of like a rocky start, but I think it all came together for her in the end. But yeah, it's gonna suck that she's gonna be gone for some time. It seems like they're gonna try to work with her, even though she is like wheelchair bound in some shape or form.
She's probably
But
gonna have a lot of like promos and stuff and promo work because she's gotten
yeah,
great at that doing that. So that battle royal, our dude Luther was in it. Unfortunately, he got eliminated first.
hey man, if I'm a legend, I'm not getting eliminated first. That's all I gotta say.
It looked like there was a little dissension between MJF and Wardlow because Wardlow hit him with the ring. Are they teasing a breakup there? Think they?
I hope not. I think they do good work together.
Yeah. I don't think
But
it would be way too soon to break them up right now. But
yeah.
then again, like that means that they're probably going to break them up next week. So the final two, Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy. Jungle Boy wins. He got a big match against Cody coming up soon. Hope maybe next week. I don't know. Wait, what do you think about the belt, man?
The belt. So they said that COVID has, disrupted some of the production of the belt. I'll believe it when I see it, but I think the belt is another, what money do we have left in the couch to make a title belt?
It looked like tinfoil. And I was like, the problem I have with the belt is like the TNT is not centered. It's like in the lower corner, and it looks like you like Sharpied it on from afar.
As a graphic designer, that shit not being centered. That shit triggers OCD. That shit triggers OCD I didn't know I had. And I just AEW just can't do belt reveals right. Like the pay-per-view is on. The pay-per-view is on. Why do you tweet out what the belt looks like? Don't do that. Was it so hard to hold off for 30 minutes when their match happens? Just why is TNT, why is Tony Khan tweeting a picture? Why is Mike Tyson? Why is the AEW? Like, the pay-per-view is on. Just hold off for 30 minutes. And now, all the, I closed the tab that had the card on it. But, all these matches are happening, and, the TL is just talking about how ugly the title looks.
Yeah.
And then Mike Tyson is supposed to present it, but he doesn't even do that.
Yeah, he just kind of came out with it.
He doesn't come out and say, I'm here to reveal the TNT championship, and
I just heard how you said TNT championship. I just heard how you said it
Did I say it wrong?
No, you said it with his accent. you said it with his accent. You definitely did. Championship, man. Yeah.
I just don't get the belt reveal. Like, I know this is this might be a nitpick to a lot of people, but I just think it's silly that you couldn't hold off for 10, 20 minutes and do the actual belt reveal on the show and make the Lance Archer match, seem, a little more important. Maybe the title's not that, the best looking, but they're fighting for it. So I would like for it to be revealed before the match starts and at least pay Mike Tyson to present it.
As a photographer, that kind of got on my nerves that the first picture that we saw, it wasn't even centered. You couldn't see it all the way. I know it's not done, but it's just it was it was angled. We were like, what is this? It wasn't even a clear shot. It was dude, pay a photographer to do that. I know you got a couple. Get him out in front and take a picture and then put it on the timeline. Because
the picture that they had with Mike Tyson holding the title, why? Why would you post that? And he's not even like holding the title like where you can like very like clearly see it. Similar to when Brett pulled it out and they just did a quick camera cut while everybody. Oh God, that title reveal was so bad. Like, what is so hard about just having like, hey, look at it, just having it under a like veil or some shit, and then having the camera all up on it, like when Kofi Kingston won the championship, and then they they just brought out like a brand new title, but it's like the old title for him, and you get a really good clear shot of it.
Yeah.
It's just how you present things, man.
So we don't roast it. I mean, we're probably gonna roast it either way.
Oh no, it looks bad regardless. But I think when the red and gold version comes, it's gonna look really good. Because right now it looks like the tag team belts.
Yeah, it looks like
the WWE Raw tag team belts.
A creative player belt, and you didn't get all the unlockables yet.
Yeah.
Closing out. We got Tyson and Jericho recreating the Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin push thing that didn't work, and this one didn't really work that well.
Hey man, let me just quote my favorite quote of this whole promo. Jericho, you got your thugs with you. Mike Tyson, no thugs, we educated gentlemen. That shit had me dying when I was watching it late night on that Wednesday. And I know a lot of people I was talking to like some other people, like somebody was just like, "Oh, I cut on to AEW and I saw Mike Tyson. That shit was kind of weird." I would say like the reason why I liked it so much because I was about to say Undisputed Era. The Inner Circle stuff that happened before the Mike Tyson segment is bad. Well, not bad, but I would say like it hits a lot of corny spots. Like it's 2020 doing Tim's and chopped cheese jokes. New York in 2020, like that's not that is not funny to me anymore.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, like them Tims look fugazi. Like I was
yeah,
like, what
definitely
type of Tims are those?
definitely the fugazi Tims, and he was just like,
and Jake Hager ain't gonna be wearing no Tims.
Yeah.
Jake Hager is probably gonna be wearing some Sauconys or Dockers or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought there was a lot of funny stuff in it, but like overall, But I thought the Mike Tyson shit was like so much better.
Yeah. Are they gonna have a match? We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. So more of the bad. I'm sorry, everybody. But so the Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake Roberts promo, where Lance Archer would love to knock Mike Tyson out, blah blah blah, this and that, and then Jericho gets the match.
Everybody wants to fight Mike Tyson. Nobody wants to fight title holders or anything like that. They don't want to fight for titles. They're like, listen,
so
we want Mike Tyson.
So I guess when people hear this, what match will they have?
I mean, you can't have a brawl for all. If you've seen recent video of Mike Tyson, my man is not playing when it comes to them rights and lefts. So like, the Judas effect ain't going hold up well for an uppercut.
Yeah, man. Tyson, 50, 60 something, flexing his thousands of muscles at Chris Jericho. Like he's in way better shape. What kind of what are they doing with Mike Tyson? Like, I get that they're capitalizing on, his resurgence and his popularity, but like, are we going to have a match? Are we going to have a street fight? No DQ, some shenanigans going on here. What are we doing?
Ah, man. Let's get into NXT real fast, man. Before we close this out. As predicted by the show, Drake Maverick was going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
in very good fashion.
Very, very controversial fashion because looks like Kushida got gypped. But on second thought, looking at the replay, like, Drake Maverick was just crafty.
Yeah.
He was crafty, and so it's going to be him. This is Phantasma. I think Drake wins. I mean, come on. How could he not?
Yeah. Hey, man. If you don't win, I got a big problem with this tournament, buddy. And I don't think it's I don't think it's going to be to the detriment of Drake Maverick. Like, I don't see him having a long title reign if he does win it. And he said, like, Kushida's next in line when they have a title match. So I don't see him beating Kushida one-on-one clean again. Because Kushida's already, in that triple threat, Kushida already, he already knows his game with the tricky pin off the submission. So, what is Drake Maverick gonna do now?
So, moving off of that, Mia Yim and Keith Lee had jokes. They were joking on Johnny and Candice hard. Mia was joking on Candice for not knowing how to dye her hair. And not winning no belts. You got no belts. And
and she doesn't either, but hey, man. Got the jokes off.
Oh, yeah. And then, you're right. But hey, man. Like,
jokes over facts, man.
Yeah, jokes over facts. And then Keith Lee joking on Johnny for, like, being very vain. And, like, and then Tegan Knox coming in with the pizza. That was hilarious. She is funny.
And I like that they live in Orlando. So you telling me that Tegan went all the way to to get pizza and bring it back.
That's some making the band type stuff. Shit right there. Like, you know what I mean? I need you to go to Cleveland real fast. Get me a Gargano's pizza.
Oh my god. I thought that segment was really funny, really good. It's announcing matches, so I thought it was really good, and it even set up more stuff for the future, which I like. So like, there's not going to be a gray area after Mia Yim beats. After Candice beats Mia Yim, that's just how I see it going. Candice being very disappointed in Tegan Knox by talking to her op.
Yeah, we are getting Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano, certified 5-starver. Soon. That's gonna happen. Like, I am excited for that. I'm probably most excited for that on the End of Your House card, other than Carry On versus Ciampa. How do you feel about Chelsea Green tagging up with Charlotte against Io and Rhea?
You know what the PS4 beep sound like?
Oh man.
That was my response to it.
I think Chelsea's gonna be one of the big heels in NXT, especially talking about like a lot of people moving up. She's definitely one of the big heels.
Charlotte doing her weekly community service, putting Chelsea Green on and getting her a win on the board against two big competitors.
How do you feel about Io taking the pin there?
It was crafty. It was very shitty. So real heel stuff. I just think it's just for us to like hate Charlotte more, because I think if she would have pinned Ripley, like, people wouldn't like really be as upset. So I don't know, man. Hopefully Io brings it home, man.
Listen, man, we got two women segments again. Listen, and this goes to both AEW and NXT. When somebody is doing a dive, please catch them. Shotzi
Oh.
did a coffin drop, and
Did-
nobody caught her. She just landed on her head. I was like, oh my god.
Hey man, do dumb moves, get dumb prizes. Because I hate the coffin drop.
I don't even think WWE
and-
really does it anymore. I haven't seen,
Yeah, I hate the coffin drop. And Darby Allin misses the coffin drop like 80% of the time. And that's probably being generous. It's like probably 90. So seeing that, I was just like, that's like seeing the whole thing. I was just like, that's ridiculous. Raquel is a very, she's fit, man. She's huge. She definitely should have caught her there. Like, I think she definitely should have took a lot of the impact off Dakota there. But yeah, hopefully Shitsy's okay. She said she's gonna do it again. I guess. I went on Instagram and then was just like, "You say you're gonna do this again, but don't do that again." And I agree with her.
or at least just like look before you leap, please. Like that was scary. I was like, oh my god, like she just.
On it, like, like I just wouldn't do it again. I just wouldn't.
To finish it up, the cage fight. Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher, presumed Matt Riddle's send-off, NXT send-off. It was a Timothy Thatcher bleeding.
How many stars? Too many.
For me?
Or like not enough, for this match.
I went at least, to me, I went at least a 4 minimum. Because, like...
4? I think that's too low. I went 30.
30 stars. Like, now we're on Meltzer scale where, like, we had a scale, and now we're going, like, crazy.
Hey, man. On the Cyrus scale... that's a 1 to 5. This match is a 30. This is
Thatcher lost
definitely
2 teeth. Like, was that like did that rate the brutality?
Let's fucking go. When he lost his teeth, whew, I was just like, this is getting ridiculous.
That was a very Cesaro-ish.
Yeah. But like I think it's less. I think it was like less severe than Cesaro's because like the match stipulation, we kind of like knew that like this is gonna be like a very like fight, like it's gonna be like a cage fight rather than like in the Cesaro thing. It was just like a tag match, and it came from him bashing his face against the ring post, but like not human contact. So I guess like it's a little different, but
Bro, it would look ugly. Like,
yeah, that's
like they zoomed in on that.
Oh yeah, Thatcher really lost his teeth. My goat. This man, blood in his mouth, just pouring out, teeth in somebody else's hand. The doctor asked him, "Can you continue?" He said, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm cool. Let me just shake it off.
Yeah, just a couple teeth. I didn't have much to begin with. Fuck it.
Thatcher was victorious with a chokeout. Like, damn, Riddle, like...
Fire.
I mean, it had to go that way. It couldn't have been, like, some regular thing. Like,
Duh.
somebody had to basically...
The fact that they didn't do the thing where, Kurt Angle, like, lifts the hand and it goes, like, 1, it goes limp on, like, the 1 and 2. And then for the 3, Riddle's, like, hanging on and it just came to a stop. Turn that the fuck up. Turn that the fuck up.
I mean, he was bashing Matt Riddle. Like, what I liked is that, like, it protected Riddle because, like, he's bashing his head against the cage first, and he puts him back in a chokehold, and Riddle fights it off, does it again, and then, it's just too much for Riddle. It shows, like, how much of a tough badass Matt Riddle is before he moves to SmackDown, I guess. And then Timothy Thatcher's there. He's ready to go, too. Like, that... I'm excited for Timothy Thatcher's, like, future in NXT.
Yeah. Um, they definitely did him. They did good for him. They did good by Riddle and him. I love the match. I would love to see more of it.
Yeah, man.
Uh, hey man, who would you put in the fight pit next?
This is just an NXT.
Yeah, just NXT and NXT UK. Let's just expand it to both NXT brands.
Oh, you got to go Walter and I would say Walter. Why not Walter and Thatcher?
Yeah. Um, like I would like to see Danny Burch and Timothy Thatcher in it. Walter, uh, Oni Lorcan. Just get all the fucking British dudes in there and just like let them brawl. Get Tyler Bate in there. Uh, Damn man, I love the fight pit.
They
I
gotta
need more of that.
they gotta bring that back eventually. Like keep it going, please. Keep
I
that
feel like
going.
I definitely think it's a one off, but damn man, I love the fight pit. That shit's hard.
Before we go, I wanted to talk a little bit about Hannah Kimura. I know we're ending on a downer note, but and I didn't want to do that, but I just thought about it, and I know that when you and I talk off air, and like you introduced me to Stardom, and you introduced me to Hannah Kimura, and I started watching her, man, like it's tragic. She was a star. She was only 22 years old. She was gonna be, when you watch wrestling for so long, you get a sense of like who has it, like who's gonna be the next person. Like when you saw Finn Balor and like Prince Devitt, you knew. You know what I mean? Like, all right, he's got it. Like you see like a Roman Reigns, all right, he's got it. You know what I mean? Hannah Kimura, like it's sad because she was just getting started, and then like we've talked about how toxic wrestling culture can be. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, this was compounded off of her being on Terrence House and what they were saying about
Just
her, which,
just a fucking reality show.
which they canceled, by the way.
They canceled the current season, but like people are looking like the think pieces are out trying to cancel the show in general, and I'm for it, honestly. Um, yeah, man, Hana Kimura, probably one of my favorite Stardom wrestlers out since like I would say since her death. It kind of made watching Double or Nothing a little harder for me. Like I wasn't really like interested in watching wrestling. Um, I I like there hasn't like so far a day hasn't gone by where like my mind just goes, yeah, man, she gone, man, and it just really sucks. Um, it's really unfortunate. Like younger than me, got bullied off of like a fabricated, storyline in a fucking reality show. People just being dumb and don't know the difference between TV and reality. Um, she was doing great stuff with Tokyo Cyber Squad, bringing in a lot of new wrestlers and you know just being the nicest person in the world to those people in her stable, and even out of it, the outpour of love, outside of the ring for her. I just wanted to see her succeed, man. Um, and I think Stardom losing like 6 major players,
Yeah.
uh, Hazuki just stops wrestling, doesn't even use Twitter anymore. She just stops. Kangetsu retires. Ariza has to retire due to concussion. Neck issues. Hana Kimura, the worst of them all, death. And then Miyagi, they just didn't do right by her, so she's gone as well. Yeah, man. Shit sucks, man. It makes me really like very sad.
If you are hurting out there right now, especially, the pandemic has basically put emphasis on a lot of people being alone. And, like, when you're alone, like, you don't escape those dark thoughts. Don't stay in those dark rooms by yourself. Reach out for help. Talk to somebody, please. Like, we need you here. As, that Tokyo Cyber Squad slogan says, everyone is different, everyone is good. And,
Yeah, man.
that's all I can say. It's terrible,
Uh, I've been sad about it literally every single day since it's happened. I just, being a big fan of Stardom, I just don't know how I'm just not gonna think about it anymore.
Well, thank you for like introducing me to her and like introducing me to Stardom and opening up that world. You know what I mean? Like she definitely was a light, and she'll continue to be a light. You know what I mean? Like, and I hope that like especially with wrestling and certain people getting called out for certain things about women's wrestlers this week, that we get our act together, man. You know what I mean? Like these are people. Outside of this, like Sonya Deville is Dana Bellandaro. You know what I mean? Like Alexa Bliss is Lexi Kaufman. Like these are real people. They play characters. You know what I mean? Like when you say stuff about their appearances and their ages and stuff like that, that hurts. Alexa went through stuff. Like she went through bulimia and issues like that.
And I, pay your respects as you will, but seeing Meltzer talk about, let's not bully people, or like let's try to be better, when wrestling journalists are like literally the worst of the worst when it comes to talking about women on here, or just like women in general. And then like that JD whatever guy as well. I hate to see the bullies come out and be like, oh, we have to be better, but that's a different conversation. But like, rest in peace, Hana Kimura, forever, man. Tokyo Cyber Squad, yes, fucking sir. Rest in peace, man.
That does it for our show this week. We are getting closer to In Your House. We'll probably next week we'll have our prediction show, because it's the 7th. It's right around the corner, and then it's gonna be a dope card too. So like I'm excited to see that. As always, you can follow us at RNC Radio Live on Twitter, on Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. This week we got a new episode of The First Responders. They talk about all that Doja Cat stuff and all of it. And
this is
new album.
This is like the weirdest week ever. From Doja Cat stuff to Gunna doing whippets. To this, Jesus Christ, man. I'm not looking forward to next week.
New episode of the Lookout to talk about Charizard versus Magmar. New episode of the preview episode about My Hero Academia. Of course, Manny's back. He's talking about what I Am Not a Genius. Talk about Apple Music's upcoming 5th birthday. I don't know. A lot of people are switching to Spotify.
A lot of people are switching to Spotify right now because Apple Music is just not doing the thing. Mark has extreme OCD, so him editing his library is very important to him. So I don't see him switching over. But last night I got an email from Spotify, and if Apple Music does the updated shit,
you would be taking our talents.
Yeah.
New episode of A Show. Of course, they pay tribute to also the Cannon Kimura Shad. Rest in peace, Shad, too, man. They talk about Last Ride. Talk about Gulak coming back or on SmackDown. Nelson chatted with Nelson is back. He's talking to his childhood friend Stan. That's a good episode there. We got the Rocket Noodles anime theme playlist up as well.
Good playlist, man.
Big Eyes podcast is talking about My Hero Academia and Promised Neverland. There's a special episode of the Black Variant where Feeney and Justin are on there with X, and they talk about the infamous Avengers Endgame.
Very, very funny episode. I highly recommend everybody listen to that.
And before we sign off, I am, of course, Johnny, Cyrus. Henry Cavill's coming back as Superman, everybody. We will talk to you next week. Everybody be good. Stay safe. Please stay safe.
General podcast stuff like rate and subscribe or whatever.
Yes.
For visibility and stuff like that. So, if you just a little goes a long way. Just tapping 5 is enough. Leave a review if you like, share. Show love.
Yes, show love and everything, man. Stay safe. We'll talk to you next week.